Imagine knowing that there's a perfect plan, drawn up by a creator who knows every detail of your life. What if I told you that this plan is full of hope, peace, and that it aims for a prosperous future for you? It may seem too good to be true, but it is exactly what God promises. However, we are often so busy trying to control each step, clinging to what we think is best, that we forget to look at what He has already prepared. Throughout this content, you will discover how God's dreams for you are infinitely greater than any expectation. Maybe you are stuck in the past, in old pains or in forgotten dreams in the drawer, not knowing where to start to live what you have always wanted. Or perhaps you have even tried to make these dreams come true, but ended up frustrated, thinking that everything you did was in vain. The good news is that God knows each of these steps and has the power to transform this story. Let's understand how His plans come true with faith, perseverance, and the trust that He is the one who leads. In this session, you will not only hear about God's purpose, but you will also learn how to take practical steps to live it. Get ready for a journey where each teaching will take you to a deeper level of faith and security. Are you ready to unlock this purpose and, who knows, start living in a way you never imagined possible? There is a greater purpose that involves every step of our lives. God has already drawn up plans of prosperity and hope for us, and He desires nothing less than a future full of peace and fulfillment. Just imagine a Creator who knows our innermost being and knows exactly what makes us grow. These plans, far from being limited or weak, are made to challenge and strengthen faith and lead each person to their best potential. Perhaps you are in a moment of doubt, questioning the direction of your life. But believe me, what God has planned goes far beyond what your eyes can see right now. Dreaming without limits is a direct invitation that God makes to us. By planting in our hearts a desire to win, to be more, He also plants the resources to achieve these dreams. When we open ourselves to these divine plans, we allow wisdom and trust to guide our steps. If, on the one hand, it may seem difficult to let go of control and trust in something greater, on the other, it is a relief to know that we are not alone on this journey. Think about how relaxing it would be to let go of the burden and rest in God, knowing that He has a perfect purpose for every decision we make. Now, for these dreams to flourish, we need to put them into practice, not only in our thoughts, but also in our actions. It is not enough to visualize a prosperous future. We need to align our movements with faith, transforming each step into an action of trust. How about making this a daily exercise? Dedicate a few minutes to reflect, pray, and even write down the desires that come to your heart. This simple action is like a first step towards the path that God has already prepared for you. Planning for the future is like drawing a map for a trip. Without it, the destination is unclear and the journey uncertain. As the pastor once said, if you don't plan for the future, you plan for failure. This simple but powerful phrase reminds us that we need a clear direction so that we don't get swept away by chance. Even if the plan is bold, having it in mind is a crucial step toward success. Planning is an act of hope and faith, a way of preparing for what God has in mind for each of us. But how do you put this into practice? The first step is to identify what really matters, what aligns with the mission and values that God places in your heart. If one of your dreams is to improve your finances, for example, why not set small goals? Perhaps learn more about finances, or even seek advice from wise people in the area. These steps are like seeds that, when planted with confidence, flourish and reveal the divine care that guides us. And of course, the journey goes beyond the plan. It requires action and perseverance. It's not just about what you plan, but about how willing you are to fight for what you believe in. What sustains great projects is the trust that God walks alongside you. Even if obstacles arise, staying focused on what you want and the steps to be taken is essential. This is where true planning is strengthened. In the certainty that, with faith and determination, it is possible to build the future that God has dreamed for us. When it comes to big plans, the journey can seem a bit daunting. We start out full of hope and faith, believing that nothing can stop us. But over time, difficulties arise, and the weight of the challenges begins to test our confidence. It is at this point that many plans fall by the wayside, shelved in the drawer of demotivation. How many times have you started something with enthusiasm, but ended up facing obstacles that drained your energy and focus? This cycle may seem frustrating, but it is exactly where the opportunity to strengthen faith lies. To face difficulties, we need to keep in mind that big dreams require great doses of perseverance and wisdom. For example, when facing a financial challenge, instead of giving up, how about looking for a second source of income or learning about investments? The important thing is to understand that with God by our side, there's always a way out, even when everything seems to be going in the opposite direction. Confidence is what helps us overcome the darkest moments and remember that we are not alone. The truth is that when we remain steadfast, God gives us the strength we need to transform difficulties into learning experiences. And what seemed like an obstacle can become a tool to bring us closer to our purpose. Stay faithful to the plan, praying and asking the Lord for guidance so that He may strengthen your resilience and light the way. It is precisely in difficult times that faith is refined and dreams come closer to being realized. No matter how much we make plans and have good intentions, there is one fundamental truth. Without God's guidance, our plans are incomplete. Committing our dreams and projects into His hands is not a sign of weakness, but rather of wisdom and trust. When we entrust our plans to God, we allow Him to direct each step, adjusting our path according to His will. Think of it as walking alongside an experienced guide, someone who knows all the shortcuts and helps us avoid stumbling blocks. And how can we truly surrender our plans to God? One practical way is to include daily prayer in our routine, asking Him to take control of our decisions and illuminate each choice. When faced with a big decision, pray for clarity. Look in the Bible for examples of faith and perseverance, such as in Psalm 91, and declare your faith out loud, trusting that He knows what is best. These acts of daily surrender bring us closer to the divine purpose and strengthen our relationship with God, building a solid foundation for any project. When we surrender our plans, we free ourselves from the anxiety of absolute control and make room for the peace that comes from trusting in something greater. God knows what we need and prepares the way, often in ways we cannot even imagine. This does not mean that we should stop taking action. On the contrary, action and faith go hand in hand. Trust and take action, knowing that each step will be sustained by the Lord and that, in His own time, He will bring to pass what has been planted in your heart. The past is often a burden that we carry, with mistakes and experiences that seem to limit us. But God calls us to give new meaning to what we have experienced, to transform what was pain into wisdom and what was error into learning. He invites us to look back, not with bitterness, but with a look of hope and faith, recognizing that each challenge prepared us for an even better future. After all, it is these lessons that make us stronger and ready to embrace the new. Looking to the future, after giving new meaning to the past, is like seeing new opportunities where before we saw obstacles. It is an invitation to write a new chapter, leaving behind old limitations and opening up to a future of achievements. Imagine yourself in a race, where each setback in the past serves as an impulse to move forward with more determination. God does not want us to remain stuck in what has already happened. He wants us to use these experiences to grow, believing that the best is yet to come. And how can we put this into practice? One idea is to do a life review, list difficult moments and realize what they taught us. From there, you can pray, asking God to continue showing you how to transform every pain into confidence and every memory into motivation. Then, as you look to what lies ahead, you can walk with courage, knowing that the path has been shaped so that your future in God will be extraordinary. Making a dream come true requires much more than just willpower. It requires perseverance and, above all, unshakable faith. The journey towards what we desire is not always easy, but with God by our side, we have the strength to continue, even when things get difficult. Remember that God's plans for us are for prosperity and hope, but to achieve them it is essential to walk with determination, without losing heart in challenging moments. It is this faith, solid and firm, that sustains us and helps us move forward. By maintaining focus and confidence, the pace does not need to be fast, just constant. Sometimes, moving forward slowly is what strengthens a foundation for solid achievement. Imagine, for example, a farmer. He does not see the fruits immediately, but continues to tend the land, certain that the harvest will come. In the same way, we are called to act, caring for our dreams, cultivating them with faith, and taking firm steps, even if they are small. God honors perseverance and rewards each effort with His presence and with fulfillment at the right time. Therefore, do not let time or difficulties discourage you. Trust that each action you take is being closely monitored by the one who wants the best for you. The secret is not to stop one step at a time, each one filled with trust in God. What you dream of is already being prepared and will become reality. As long as you keep your heart firm and your eyes fixed on the purpose He has set for your life. Now that you have discovered the steps to align yourself with God's purpose and plans, the question is, what will you do from here? Are you ready to turn dreams into actions, surrender your plans to the Lord, and walk with renewed faith? Remember, the path to fulfillment is built day after day, with each prayer, each decision, and each step taken towards a future that God has already planned for you. And how do you intend to apply these teachings? Right here in the comments. What dreams and plans do you want to see come true? Let's make this journey a walk of faith together. This is the time to commit to the transformation you want to see in your life. So how about taking the first step right now? And to continue receiving content that will strengthen your faith and expand your vision of purpose, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you will always be up to date with the next teachings that will help you remain firm and confident in the plans that God has for you. Let's build this future of peace and hope together.